Hello, welcome back. What's up, everyone? Happy goddamn Friday. I hope your weekend is off to a kick-ass start. I hope you skipped the office. Fuck, I hope you just skipped work all in general today. Who needs it? I'm John Garcia, aka Staypuft, the Metal Marshmallow, everybody. Welcome back to First Listen. Joined this week, again, as sometimes is the norm over here, by Cori Westbrook. And today we're listening to the album Engrossed in Decay by Illinois death metalers MOLDER, and we have Aaron and Kyle here on the stream with us. What is up, dudes? Welcome. Happy Friday. Congrats on the release.
Thank you very much. How are you guys doing?
Doing fine, man. Just doing a lot of work. My Fridays are more along the lines of like Tuesdays in my life, you know? I don't get the nice weekend view as everyone. Cori, you never take a day off, so I don't know how you feel about Fridays.
Friday, every day is Tuesday to me. It just all blurs together into one long Tuesday. And yeah, and eventually I'll die and that'll be my weekend.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah. Playboy Aiden says I'm driving to Chicago right now and watching this. Fuck yeah. Eyes on the road, my friend. Volume up.
No?
Yeah, volume up, video down.
Not safe.
Yeah, so, guys, how does it feel to have this record out? I don't know if you guys had, like, done this during the pandemic or it was afterwards or anything like that. We talked to a lot of bands here that have had their music, like, in the hopper for 2 years before getting it out. So what does it feel like to finally get it out?
It's super great. Very gratifying. It's very nice to finally have it out. I've had it sitting on it for, like, a better half of a year. Yeah, it sounds incredible. Yeah. And we had the songs written longer than that. So it's super cool that it's finally come through and it's all finally out.
Fuck yeah, and we're going to get into it in just 2 seconds. So a question that I sometimes ask is, you know, what to expect with this album. But again, like, you look at the name of the band, you look at the album art, you look at, like, one single. I think, like, that's pretty intentional, right? People should know what the fuck to expect from this album, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Fuck yeah. Let's get into it, everybody. Definitely not a bad thing. So, from Prosthetic Records, this is MOLDER with Engrossed in Decay, and the first song over here, Gluttonous Remains. Let's fucking go on First Listen over here. Curtis in the chat says the album is so good. After hearing it, I'm thinking it's in my top 10 of the year. Look at that, boys.
Oh, yeah? Awesome.
I may or may not get lost in the riffs as this progresses, because this has been my album of the day, like, all day. So if I go quiet, I'm lost to the riffs.
Lost in the rock.
The slime has taken me. I'm just gone.
It's like Ghostbusters 2.
This is one of my favorite songs, personally. Yeah, it's cool. It's one of the first songs we wrote, if not. But I think it is the first song we actually wrote.
And you guys have been kicking around for a few years, doing, you know, splits, compilations, your 2020 album. How do you feel things have kind of progressed, and how are they a little different on this one as you've grown into your sound?
I don't think it's really progressed too much at all. I think we tried, like, maybe some different stuff, but overall I still think it's MOLDER. Yeah, you hear what you hear on band, it's just maybe a little bit better as far as musicianship comes along. I just think that we've come along because better players, but I don't think there was really any intent to do anything different. I don't think we meant to do more, but, like, I do feel like it's slightly evolved in the last one, but, like, it was just still MOLDER, to be honest.
Question, Cori, I didn't mean to cut you off if you had something else, but I wanted to actually know the same thing. What do you guys think? So you said that, you know, other than, you know, you guys did, like, change your sound, like Rachel, whatever, you just kind of focused on what you've been doing. What did you learn recording Vanished Cadavers that you were able to use in the recording of this album?
So for Banished Cadavers, we recorded with Cheyenne Brandt as well as Engrossed in Decay. So the biggest thing was working with her in particular, and her setup in particular, it was just nice going back for that second time, just kind of knowing the gist of things, knowing how she likes to operate, and it just makes for a smoother recording process, a lot less fucking around, just trying to figure out like tones, sounds, whatever, and a lot more just tracking and like having fun. So it's definitely a more enjoyable of an experience. So from record 1 to 2, I think we just kind of knew what to expect once we got down to recording.
I love that. So you had your confidence in your identity there a little bit more, right?
Yeah, sure, exactly. Definitely we feel comfortable there.
Yeah. It was definitely easier on the second album too to like tell them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there it is, Cori. There's my stank face.
I one of these days, I am going to frame like every version of your stank face and put it on my wall.
It's just gonna be one of those things where it's the same picture over and over again. It's like
No. See, you have different stank faces. They're dependent on genre. Your death metal stank face is different from your power metal stank face.
Yeah, this is true. What's up, Pete? Nice to see you. Happy Friday, man. There we go, and we're off and running.
Running like slime down a wall.
This fucking bass tone right here,
Right.
y'all.
I just want to say thank you for not skimping on the bass. John knows how much I love a good
the God of
crunchy
Thunder on
bass
this record.
tone.
I'm really, really happy with it.
See the amp we used for the mix.
It was incredible, but it's nasty as shit. Very, very happy with it.
It is just like, it's like eating really tough jerky. You like just sink your teeth into it and just like rip it, and I love it.
Well, Dominic loves jerky, so I'm sure he'll be happy to hear that.
Really salty jerky.
Yeah, that high sodium.
Like that, the like teriyaki kind that tastes like nothing teriyaki has ever come near it. Yeah, that kind.
Like, tastes like salt.
Exactly. But somehow you love it anyway.
Yeah.
To be honest.
By the way, those of you in the chat, is my volume up a little bit better? I'm getting good levels on my end, so I'm hoping it's not the internet. Y'all can hear me, right? Right, Cori?
I can hear you.
All right.
Yep. Yeah.
Thank you, Curtis. Says it's much better.
So this right here is what I call break shit music. I just want to hit something with a chair.
It's very similar to Limp Bizkit.
I can
It's
hear
true.
it.
I can hear the influences.
Yeah.
Speaking of influences, though, you guys, you definitely pull from the roots of death metal, but you're definitely not like just rehashing what already has been done. You have a lot of modernity in your composition and in your music. What are some of your influences, both past and present, that you kind of pulled in to build this unique take on old school death metal?
Just classic fucking stuff. A lot of Illinois, Chicago stuff like Master and Cyanide. We have shit like Morgue. And I'm in particular really into like old punk and grind. So early Napalm Death, just that's a huge influence. Early Carcass. I know Kyle likes a lot of more modern bands, and I think that shows in the strumming. It's just more potent, it's more competent, it's just more active than anyone else. It's just more involved. He's excellent. But a lot of it's like old stuff on TV. It fits.
They excellent.
Yeah, really. Impetigo for sure. Yeah. Just, like I said, classic, as I say, the first 3 death albums.
Yeah, I could definitely hear that. What was kind of your hook band? What I mean by that is, like, what was the extreme metal band that really got its hooks into you to kind of open the floodgates to really start diving down?
So between 3 bands, when I was a young lad, I was introduced to a Betamax tape of the Ultimate Revenge Tour, which was Venom, Exodus, and Slayer live in 1985. And It's just fucking incredible. Ever since seeing that, my life has been completely fucked forever. No going back. Tom hunting, Dave and Bardo, fucking Abaddon. Very, very intense stuff. I don't know about you.
Well, just stuff that got me into like doing stuff. Like I don't know. I grew up. I got into like morbid angel, like pestilence and all that. But like I'm more like the like technical '90s stuff a lot, to be honest. Which is different because all of them they like the more simple like old
Potatoes, baby.
Yeah, like I like technical stuff, but I do like all that stuff still. But like yeah, morbid angel is like one of my biggest. Pestilence is huge. I love that, like immolation and stuff.
Fuck yeah. Speaking of Carcass right here, like, this is exactly what reminds me of that, like, this little sample right here.
Very necroticism, which is a good fucking album.
Yeah.
Fuck you if you disagree.
Necroticism's the best, honestly.
I think that was honestly the first Carcass album I ever heard. Because a buddy of
Same.
mine sent me Corporal Jigsaw Corntree, just like MP3 of it, just like over AOL Instant Messenger, dating myself a little bit, but just like, here, listen to this band. I was like, this is the coolest shit that I've ever heard.
Yeah, Carcass is disgusting. Chef's kiss.
I'm going to take a second to shout out this video for anybody who hasn't seen the Relentless Pestilence video. Watch it and play Spot the Poster, and then tell me how many band posters you see. That's what we were doing when we were watching the video on the channel, is we were sitting there going, okay, what's all in there?
Hopefully everyone noticed the Will Ferrell stand-ups and posters. There's a couple of appearances from Will Ferrell in the video. You'll have to really, really look for it, but they're there.
And actually, speaking of the posters, we have a comment in the chat that wants to know who decorated your space with all those awesome posters.
One more time, I'm sorry.
Question in the chat of who decorated your space with all those posters.
Oh, so this is the basement at the lovely Foods Above. Just all my posters from like the last 15, 20 years of being in the metal music. A lot of flyers, a lot of just inserts from records, posters I picked up over the years at shows or at record stores or whatever. But yeah, just that kind of shit.
And then another question in the chat from Wise Up in Blood. Mentioned a couple of times that the vocals remind them of early Gwar. Is that one of your influences?
Early who? I'm sorry.
Gwar.
Gwar?
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, not really. You know, and I think Dave Rocky is a legend. I think Gwar's cool, but they're not really a band that I really listen to too much and more derived influence from. But if that's what you're picking up on, that's okay. That's cool. You know?
Yeah. Different years, because I hear a lot of, like you mentioned, a lot of early Chuck from Death in your guys' stuff.
Chuck and Right from Autopsy. I think he's the big one. And Mark Van Bruin from Misfits and Pestilence. You know.
Yeah.
MVD was the first thing I heard when I did the vocal.
Yeah, it's interesting. So all the people in the chat being like what they hear. We have someone saying that they hear Entombed a lot. We have another person saying early Death and stuff like that. I love, like, right, because everybody's musical journey is colored by what they've experienced, right? So hearing different shit is really cool. I can't stop looking at this artwork. It's so good.
Yeah,
I love
Who did the
I
artwork?
love the other.
Some obituary shout-outs in there as well.
Oh yeah, John Carter's huge influence as well. Love his first 3 obituary records. I mean, all that shit's killer, but you know,
I'll say first 4, but
I actually went back to their most recent one recently, and I liked it a lot more than I remember. Like, I thought it was really fucking
the
good.
self-titled one, that one's pretty good.
this is one of my other favorites off the album.
It's fun to play.
Yeah.
I'm really glad I switched to a wired microphone so I can't like escape and go smash things while this is playing. I'm stuck.
I'm still surprised you haven't brought in things just next to you to throw on the ground.
I really should, but then it's like I have to sweep, and knowing my cat, she'll be locked in this room somewhere and I'll accidentally smash something and scare her. And she's very small. I can't do that. Actually, no, knowing her, she would just wait until I'm asleep and kill me. She's a horrifying little creature.
Oh, man. So listening to these riffs brought up another question that I was thinking about. When you guys are writing, like, how does that process work for y'all? Like, do you, Aaron, do you, Kyle, do you guys hear stuff in your head and then put it down, or do you guys kind of just, like, sit over your instruments for hours at a time to feel out those riffs and where they go? Or both?
I'd say both, yeah. Especially on this record, I spent a lot of time just trying to write riffs and composing stuff on my own. And, like, being a drummer as well, I had the problem with, like, writing the shit in my head. And a lot of the time you come here and look at something different and it ends up being a lot sicker. So you just stick with that.
Or tell me it's or do something on myself.
However, like, typically I'll just show up with, like, a handful of riffs and I don't know, we'll just smoke some weed, drink a beer too, but just kind of try and jam shit.
I was gonna say this sounds for sure like we just got high and
Isn't that how you wrote the last album too?
I mean,
yeah, but like this one we did, we just like literally like within like 3 months we just took hella acid and just fucking whipped out like more than half the album so quick. Like we were just on it.
it's just like one of those things where it's, you know, it's not broken, no need to fix it. It worked last time, and we did it twice as hard this time.
I fucking love that, y'all. Fucking cheers. I've only got water right now, but fucking cheers.
There's more water in this, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's the base of it all.
I got my big ass core.
I drank like 24 ounces of tea right before this, so I'm kind of like shaking.
I love tea.
Tea's great.
I just switched to tea within the last year in the afternoons because I would drink like a pot and a half of coffee each day. Now
I still
drink
do
like
that too.
3/4 of a
coffee
pot of coffee.
destroys me.
And I just supplement it with tea after that.
Can't do it.
Yeah, tea's great. Tea I feel is great. It tastes better to me. I don't know.
What's your go-to and how do you take it?
What, like tea?
Yeah.
Oh, I honestly just like Earl Grey, like black tea, and I like a little lemon, and then I have like a billion different things that I'll just change every day. Like I just like honey and lemon, but honestly, it's good.
I like it down the drain.
Like this fucking riff right here.
Get this fucking stick water on my face.
What's up, Marissa? Hello. Hi. Yes, we've got some spam on YouTube. We'll see if we can get rid of that as well. But nice to see you over here, Marissa. Happy Friday. We are listening to Engrossed in Decay, the newest album from death metalers MOLDER right now.
This is another top track.
That's one was fun to write. We may or may not have a music video for this coming out one day.
Scoop?
Stay tuned.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We'll see what happens. We got a, friend working on it for us, but we got some stuff going. So,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
Potentially. Maybe. We'll see what happens. We got a friend working on it for us, but we got some stuff going. So,
yeah.
That's
We'll see what happens.
Well, we may or may not have another song to play on Pulse of the Maggots coming up in a little while. Then.
And I may or may not have something to write for the site.
Fucking excellent.
How do you guys choose a sample, by the way?
Oh, well, the first things first. For this one, I had to make sure it's something public domain. I'm a cheap boy, and I don't want to get hit with copyright stuff. However, I wanted to do stuff that I was also familiar with, and that was quite the challenge to find cool shit. I'm not going to reveal what the samples are from,
Sure.
But I'm sure the real sick freaks out there know what they're from.
They're from vintage 1910s porn.
Yeah. Static films.
It's always so. One of my favorite bands growing up was Children of the Bodom, right? And they littered their music with movie quotes and samples and shit like that. And it was always interesting watching a film and then hearing, like, I had no idea they quoted American Psycho until I was watching American Psycho.
It's
and
the
just
best.
like,
You watch a movie you've never seen before, and then you feel the connection to it because you've listened to an album over and over and over that had some fucking 10-second audio clip from it. And you're like, so it's the absolute best. I love that shit.
So you mentioned earlier songs that you really enjoy playing live from this album. What is the craziest thing that has ever happened during a live performance with you guys? I know we had like a 2-year hiatus there, but I get the vibe you have some details.
Our first show ever, some dude shit his pants at our show and was like on PCP or something of the like, and was just having an absolute mind melt freak out in the middle of this venue. So I'd say that was probably the craziest thing that ever happened at a show. Otherwise, like, I don't know, pretty standard. We had pretty rowdy local shows. I mean, playing out of state, whatever else. Like, we just have normal sets and whatnot. But we play Refuge and shit in Chicago. Yeah, it's pretty nuts.
Like we got like a big group of friends from the city that shows up. They get the stick going for us.
It's a good time. They're fun.
So if you're in Chicago, come see us.
fuck yeah. I've been to Reggie's. It's a hell of a place to see a show.
Best venue on earth.
Reggie's is the greatest place ever.
You know, God bless Robert Quinn.
Yeah.
And you'll be coming to Oregon when?
Ooh, I can't disclose that, but
Ooh, that sounds
Soon.
promising though.
you know, soon. Yeah, very soon.
I'll be there.
Cool.
Somewhere down in the middle, probably hitting somebody and or atop the crowd. One of the two.
Cori will be the woman that all the big dudes are afraid of because she is hurting them so bad.
Well, I'll be sure to stay the fuck away.
Did I tell you, John, the bruise that I got at that one show with the bruise, it left a permanent mark. It's still there.
I feel like you still have a bruise from that one?
Like, I still have, it looks like a birthmark now. It's just permanently part of me.
Oh man, respect, Cori.
This is why I live, so I can survive my hobbies.
So speaking of hobbies, actually, other than writing a bunch of stinky, nasty death metal riffs and eating a lot of acid, what are you guys into? Like, what do you do to get away from the music, if you do at all?
I'll leave that to Kyle because that's my getaway. Is doing the whole music.
Yeah,
that's my life.
I'm gonna say, other than music, I like to hike. I'm obsessed with nature and camping, and I like just being out and about, like getting away from all the bullshit. So like, I don't know. I'll draw and play a game every once in a while, but like hiking's like my main thing. Usually when I'm not playing music, I'm like out in the fucking woods doing bullshit with my friends.
Yeah, we're the wild thing.
I love it. I love
Yeah,
hiking.
just what it
It's been
shows.
so hot. I live in Nashville, and it's just like you go outside and you're just full of sweat. And,
Yeah, there's been a few. I'm actually coming to Tennessee in a few weeks, and I warned my friends. I'm like, yo, it's gonna be disgusting down there, but it'll be fun. Like,
yeah.
I gotta get to Nashville. I gotta have myself an authentic chicken sandwich.
Prince's, my friend.
That's what I hear. Hattie
Yep.
B's. Yeah, Hattie B's is the other one. So
Hattie B's, I would say, is fine. It's more, I would call it gentrified hot chicken, though, because it's, like,
Okay.
newer and their marketing is really good, and they've been able
it's
to
good
get
to know.
that.
It's
Yeah,
good
yeah.
insight.
I don't know if they would still be around anymore because they just sold their place, but I don't know how long. But Bolton's is also another good one, especially if you're in the East Nashville area. They've got really good hot grouper and really good hot chicken. So
That's the only reason I want to tour. I just want to try a hot chicken sandwich. And everything.
well, it was funny. I was in the UK last month, and they were like Nashville hot chicken sandwiches at like pubs and stuff like that. I was like, have we really gone global? Do we need to do this? I don't know.
Popeye really fucking loves you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, so,
You know?
now everyone's trying to do it.
Yeah. And there's just even Nashville hot, but like still, I really just kind of put that chicken sandwich.
We got this place up here called Budlong's. That's like pretty good. Yeah, eat pizza, man. Like they do the classic Nashville hot. Like, it's pretty insane.
Oh yeah, go there all the time with my buddy. Their banana pudding, it's standard.
Oh, they got the
That
toast
is
too.
the
They put like the
thing
honey.
in the
Oh
world.
my gosh, dude.
Yeah,
I haven't
if you
eaten
get
since
something.
breakfast, and this is tormenting to me. I'm so hungry right now.
Yeah, I don't know if Oregon has good Nashville hot chicken sandwich.
What is Oregon's popular food? Ranch.
Beer.
Beer.
That is our popular food. It's beer.
Yeah,
Bigfoot
beer.
patties.
Donuts actually might also
Oh.
be our popular food.
Donuts are like my
Donut-
favorite.
There are a lot of good donut places here. My kitchen, that's what it is. There's where it's at.
Hell yeah, I love donuts.
Shout out to Go yeah,
We're home to Voodoo Donuts, so like the stoner donuts with the bacon and all the other weird flavors and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah, that came from us.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we
They
got.
have Voodoo
Yeah.
Donuts has a banana fritter with chocolate and peanut butter on it. And I mean, I know everybody's like, oh, it's so touristy, and it's like, dude, quit being elitist about your damn donuts and just enjoy the piece of heaven that this
I'm gonna
is.
about a lot of things. Donuts, not so much. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty good with donuts.
A good donut's good donut.
You know, that's it.
Exactly. The banana fritter with the chocolate and peanut butter on it, that's
That sounds delicious. Pete, yeah,
Freaking
can you chat
Chicago.
some things about donuts?
What's up?
I said a buddy of mine in the chat, Tammy Pete, knows a thing or two about donuts. Nice little inside joke we got.
This guy knows the 3 or 4 things.
Yeah, I love donuts. So I eat monster. I get donuts for my birthday to the cake. Like honestly.
So when you guys
how
are
many
in
donuts
Nashville,
can you eat in one sitting?
Me? Oh
I don't
man.
know.
If I had to until like I was full, I could probably finish like a dozen donuts, honestly. I don't want to, but like I could.
like Krispy
Yes, you
Kreme
do.
sized donuts,
We're
or
talking like
jumbo
heavy
sized
cake donuts.
donuts?
Yeah, we're talking about
So, secretly, the artwork for this is what happened after you ate a bunch of donuts, like too many donuts. That's where this artwork came
It
from.
wasn't the acid; it was the sugar.
It was the vomit on the floor.
So when you guys are in Nashville, Five Daughters Bakery, those are the donuts you guys want to try.
all right, $5. Keep that in mind. Right in the list. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll give you a list. Like, here's where you need to go. Here's where you need to stay away from. There's a rumor going around in the chat that Aaron is terrible at grilling.
Terrible at grilling?
That's not true.
That's big cat.
That's big cat.
You want some fucking good meats? You can come to the boys.
I
You know,
love some good beats.
that's where Mulder does best.
I guess overall he's like the best at smoking.
Yeah, I like smoking meat.
But he's
I
good
love
at
smoking
grilling.
meat.
Aaron's food's good. Who said that? What was the username? We might know him.
Let me see what is in here. Where was it? Hang on. Vanna 101.
I don't know. Well, no. I don't know. You know, next thing they're going to tell you, I don't know how to mow lawn. And everyone knows that's a fucking lie.
You're out there with a ruler. Every blade is just
What?
the exact same
Like it's
height.
like immaculate precision.
Your New
He's pretty good. He
Balances
does like
are
the he does
perfectly
like
green.
the diamond baseball field pattern.
Oh, yeah. Gotta have the best lawn on the block. You know, best stash, best lawn.
Benabina 101 says, Aaron, it's Alyssa. I know you're horrible at grilling.
Oh, that's a ex-coworker of mine. Hello, Alyssa. And Alyssa doesn't know shit about grilling. Let me tell you something. That's all right, you know. Let you have your moment. Little 10 seconds of fame here. You know, I'm the meat king of Joliet, Illinois. You can fucking run and tell them that. You know what I mean?
Kills the
Yeah.
PBR. Throws it
I
on the
want
ground.
ribs now. All this talk of grilling making me want ribs.
Ribs, you know, I don't lie, I love ribs, but it's like I rarely have ribs.
I can agree with that. Yeah.
I rarely have.
They're good. Not,
And it takes so long to do them right. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been mine for like 4 to 6 hours.
hell yeah. That sounds all right.
He does like pork bellies and pork foot until pork shoulders.
Okay, so I'm gonna be there in like 10, and I expect just a smorgasbord of
10 hours, everybody. That's plenty of time to do it.
I think I have it up 10 p.m. There's not enough time. You know?
Yeah, you gotta come at 10 a.m. and want some good meat, you know.
I'll give you 10 hours. I'll be there.
All right, that's enough time. That's done and done. Say less. Yeah.
After doing a couple of birds, my new Thanksgiving tradition is to smoke a turkey rather than like cook one. Because it's
Dude,
so
you
fucking
ever have
good.
a deep fried?
Yeah, I was gonna say get deep fried one.
We have deep fried a turkey before.
That shit is fucking
Yeah.
awesome.
It's my friend's deep fried turkey, and it was the best turkey I've ever had in my life. Like straight up, it was so good.
You have to just make sure that the turkey is completely frozen, or else you blow up your neighborhood.
Oh, yeah. You know, if your neighbors suck, is that really a bad thing?
Yeah.
I love that this entire conversation has just derailed into food.
Oh, absolutely. You know,
It's like important, though, you know.
it's almost as important to me as death metal. Almost.
Barbecue and death metal. All you really need in life is those two things.
It's essential. Those are
Food, death metal, and
death metal, food, water, whiskey,
I'm not cool with
meat,
it,
bird.
man.
I only need 3 out of 5 of those things. I have simple taste. Low maintenance.
Yes, this rib right here, y'all.
Yeah, this is very suicide right here when the double kicks in. Dude, that's all the suicide jokes were there. That's all we were doing right
The song was literally called the Deicide song.
Yeah, like all those
like doesn't really quite sound like them, but yeah, part of the
this little double bass part right here just kind of sounds like a deicide part to us, so it's called the deicide song.
So what are some of your bucket list bands that you would want to tour with when you come to Oregon?
tour. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a really good question. A lot of bands that I like don't even exist anymore. And but yeah, that is a really good question.
now, as I said, I like a lot of like technical shit, so like we want to fit in with a lot of technical things.
Yeah, definitely. That's quite all right, you know. So it's different realm. They're killing it.
Yeah, they're killing it. They're the best.
Yeah.
Better than us.
Yeah, you know, I play what I play because I can't play that.
Same.
But shit, like Obituary would be sick as far as like, you know, an old plastic band that still tours, and still does things like that.
Fuck, man. Honestly, like, out of all the ones that are still around and, like, kicking really good, Obituary kind of is like the most local.
I'd love to tour with Autopsy, but they don't really tour. We played with them. Yeah, which was excellent.
Yeah, but it was one of our best. To date, it was our best show, actually, but
And that was the show that sent the world into a 2-year hiatus.
yeah.
Oh no, so you're responsible.
It's your fault.
I mean, it was a sick show.
It was insane. It was so overly packed and crazy. It was awesome.
I'm not surprised it created the problems that it created. You know, but we're back. We're here. You know?
Cattle decapitation
Fuck, like-
summoned the plague with Bring Back the Plague, and then y'all helped it along.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's some new bands I'd love to tour with. Church of Disgust, Morbific would be really fucking excellent to tour with. Coffin Rock would be super fun to tour with. Rude is awesome.
So good.
So many like good new bands. I guess I'm just kind of fixated on like what I listen to as far as like influence and shit. But yeah, tons of new bands that are on shit like Head Foot Records, Redefining Records.
Ooh, I love
There's a lot of cool
Redefining
stuff coming out right now, and I'd love to play with my friends. Yeah.
So that actually gets me into a question that I had. Just a perfect setup for it. Yeah, I did a death metal roundtable a while ago, which then drew Chris Barnes' attention to say, like, hey, death metal is shit and all this other stuff. We obviously know that it's not. But I'm curious, it's a two-part question, but I'll ask the first part first, is just like, you kind of mentioned it, but like, where do you see the state of death metal today, in your eyes?
I'll kind of go first. What's like the state of death metal right now? What's your opinion on where you like see it? Like
Personally, because I like a lot of new stuff and whatnot, I think death metal's like doing awesome.
I agree.
I love like so many new bands right now. I think it's thinking better than it has like in like a long time. I feel like death metal was kind of dead for a long time until like a few years ago. But like I said, I listen to a lot of new like technical shit. So for me,
Thank you, Angela.
and I guess there's a lot of like new and like simplest shit, like he was saying, like like a lot of like old school and pro shit. But like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like right now death metal's like popping. Like it is. Like there's so many cool bands, and it's cool to be a part of. Whoa! Did you see that? That was crazy.
For me, I think it's excellent. For as much stuff is out there that like I absolutely like adore and love and like will represent and share the other living shit out of, there's a lot of stuff I fucking disdain and hate about like the current state of not just death metal, but like music as a whole. I feel like there's a lot of oversaturation. There's just like a clear trend that's happening, and I think that's like good and bad. Like obviously it was, it helped us get to the.
You just don't like look though. Yeah, if you just look and you find all those bands that aren't oversaturated, like there's so many fucking awesome bands right now.
But that's my point. It's just so very nowadays, and a lot of them are very sick. But it's hard to keep up with to an extent. Kind of like
it is.
Thrash Resurgence like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
A lot of bands started popping out of the woodwork, and there was a lot of really great stuff, and a lot of that is, for lack of better words, just there,
Yeah. And I think you get that with just about any genre day right now, just because of the digital service providers and all that other stuff. But I think like you guys have a very interesting position right now because you're both fans of the genre and you're also creating and part of the genre and part of that upswing in that, in my opinion, right? Because you guys are just getting your career started, right? This is just your second record, but yet you're in there with the likes of everybody else.
Yeah, it's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's kind of super cool. Like I think it's popping right now, and it's cool to like be part of it in a way. Yeah. And I feel like we're doing a cool job. Honestly, I like what we do.
I'm just very grateful for the support system. It's gotten us much further than to be like pessimistic or shit of myself, than I think it ever should have got. It's really sick. I didn't really expect it.
Yeah, we really are like a simple band. It's cool to get this far.
Like, no shit.
Yeah, guys. Well, I'm happy that you guys are this far as well.
Yeah, thank you. Seriously.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I had another question, but I've lost it to the riffs. It just went away.
It's the dive bombs, Corey. When everyone plays the guitar, then it's like they're choking it.
Yeah, I had a good time recording.
I will say, though, that if I do not get a tour announcement in like the next couple of months, I will cry. That's not a pretty sight.
We can't like
all I can really say is like one of the bands we're going out with is currently doing a run, and I think we're just kind of waiting for that to close up to where we can announce this, additional leg of their tour. But that's all I can really say for now. Just keep your eyes peeled, keep watching the page and shit, and Yeah, you know, it's definitely coming though. I promise you that.
Excellent. Because I have a very ugly cry face. It's not good.
Yeah.
I don't do it often, so I don't really know how to make it not horrible.
Well, you should get a picture wall of those too. You can
Only if you make it your next album cover.
This is just like I'm walking down the grocery store to grab my shit. Everybody get out of my way, like riff, like.
Fun fact, that was Kyle soloing at the end.
Yeah, that last solo I got to do there.
Fuck yeah.
It was fun. We were so fucked up. I was like,
So I'm saying, just like abusing a guitar to make something like sound nasty and gnarly.
yeah.
I fucking love dive bombs, dude.
Don't worry, folks. The guitars were totally into the abuse.
No guitars were harmed in the making of this album.
And if they were, it was consensual.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, bud, man? Nice to see you. Happy Friday. We're wrapping up listening to Engrossed in Decay by Molder from Illinois. We have, ooh, this is the last song. I was gonna pause it for the last song, but we're already listening to it, so we're just gonna go.
It's a tragedy.
Well, I guess we'll just have to listen to it again.
Yeah, that's all right. You know,
I'm down with it.
Little known fact, this is our least favorite song on the album.
White Flags.
That's why it's last.
Still stand behind it. It wouldn't be on the record if I didn't like it, but if I had to pick my least favorite, for sure.
It just drags the most. It's a long time. We mainly wrote it because we had to fulfill time. But we do like the song too.
You know,
The name alone, I think, justifies it being on the album.
2.5-minute songs without, like, I wanted like a 10-track record. I didn't want to have 20 songs.
Yeah.
But to, like, obviously fulfill, like, obligations and give people an actual like, product worthwhile, we had to at least hit 40 minutes. So, yeah, we tried to just full length things up a little bit.
Interesting. So do you think in the future then, like for any other possible albums, do you feel like you would like it better if they were like ground down to the absolute studs?
Oh, fuck yeah. Like, I think a 35 minute record is like, that's the epitome of a great history.
It's just under the labels of it. We had a time on this one, so we had to fulfill it.
And it's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that it wasn't anything longer than that. I think 45 minutes is still like fine for a record. And fortunately, I think we write stuff that's at least like, I don't know, when you're listening to it before you know it's over, like this conversation, for example, like it kind of sounds like a weird melody on the last song. It's just one of those albums that just fortunately flows, which is great because those are the records I loved from growing up, or just everything just sounds like one continuous song, but at the same time, each song has its own.
Yeah, it's short enough to where you remember it, but you don't fully remember it, so you want to re-listen to it again.
You're like, all right, it doesn't drag hard enough to where you're like, man, this fucking record's still going. And
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Also, those albums, kind of like you were saying, Kyle, just the length lends themselves to re-listening a little bit. I always go back and forth between 35 to 45 minutes is my sweet spot for an album. But,
yeah.
I mean, not that I don't like anything, but, like, I've got on I'm a nerd. I have a spreadsheet of, like, all the albums
You're
that
a
I
nerd?
listen to
No.
and all that shit. Most of the ones that are sitting in my I need to listen to it again are all, like, an hour plus long. Because I'm like, all right, I've got to set aside time to, like, really delve into everything. Which is fine, because I love records like that. But
I was gonna say I like long records. It's just gotta be like some good shit. Like it's gotta be blood and paint taste or something. Like for me to listen to a fucking long album. Like if it's something like us and it was an hour long, I'd be like, all right. It's getting old. But like,
Yeah, it's like 2 hours.
When it's some really fucking crazy, like everything's just changing constantly, I can listen to a pretty long album. But like, I like a lot of like 70s prog rock, so like I don't know, I like long albums, but as long as it's not like oversaturated, like you said, or it's not just the same fucking thing for an hour, it's usually pretty good.
Yeah, it's amazing when you listen to a record that's like an hour and 15 minutes and it feels shorter than an album that's like 45 minutes.
Like I said, I'm obsessed with Love Incantation, but like, they be doing that shit, and like, it just flies by for me. I'm like,
yep.
Whoa, it's so good. It's not a decent record.
Deathly Viper says, is that a zombie on the cover? Potentially, eventually, maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say eventually. It's like a guy turning into a zombie in a way. Like
He's being engrossed in decay.
Engrossed in decay. Yeah. He's like in the process.
Yo, Brad Seed, what's up, man? Didn't see you sneak in there over here. Nice getting some FaceTime with you last month, dude. Hope you're doing well. Big ass can ending right here. Fuck yeah, everybody. Engrossed in Decay, the newest album from Molder. Gentlemen, congrats on the album, and thank you for sharing your time with us to listen and chat and just bullshit and talk about food for like half of the album on time.
It's all a pleasure.
Cori, before I ask my last question that I usually ask everybody, do you have anything to follow up or chat or talk about or anything like that? Anything burning a hole in your brain over here?
I just have my last question that I usually ask everybody. So do you want me to ask mine or do you want to ask yours?
I will ask mine first because yours is better.
Okay.
First off, Mazza has the link for the Bandcamp and the record in the chat. Everybody go click on it. Buy a track, buy the album, buy the vinyl. I don't know. I assume you guys have cassettes because every death metal band has cassettes now. Yes. So go pick those up, everybody. Support the artists that you love. Support the musicians.
Available from Head Split Records. Yeah, Head Split, bro.
Fuck yeah. My question for you, and it doesn't have a right answer, I just ask it for every band, is just what do you want people to take away from this album when they listen to it?
Ooh. It's a hard question.
I want them to listen to it. I want them to think, oh, this reminds me of shit that I like, and nothing more, because that's all that it is. That's all I really went out to create and try to do. I just wanted to make music that sounds like music I like. There is no reinventing the wheel. There is no like extensive creative passion. It's just making death metal that I think sounds the coolest to my ears. So yeah, I want people to listen to that shit and smile and be like, oh, this reminds me of fucking Autopsy. This reminds me of, insert whatever working classic band. Because that's all I'm really out there trying to do.
I'm going to say, I'm with him on that pretty much. And like, I guess it's cool. It's like, with us talking about how stuff's oversaturated nowadays, I think it's cool to like be able to write simple stuff though. Yeah, it's actually enjoyable. There's a lot of bands out there that do simple stuff that like it just gets boring after like a song or two. No, I'm not trying to sound like cocky, but like I do feel like while we're simple, I feel like we got like an effective fun sound, and like the sounds differ from each other enough to where like it's not over repetitive.
It's sick being able to not overthink or overwrite. Not like we're doing anything and we still like have managed to like come as far as we have.
Like you can write like just fun, simple shit and have fun
and lots of fun. That's what it sounds fucking life. Well, that's what it's about.
I agree 100%, and I think that shit is going to take you guys far, because as long as you guys are inspired and engaged and loving the shit that you're putting out, and this goes for not just you guys, but any artist, right? But, like, that's I think how artists have success is by just doing the shit that they love, and then that in turn you can usually hear that because like you could hear there's a song, I think it was the title track of your previous album, where everything stops and you just hear the ride bell go ding, and then it goes back into everything. I fucking laughed my ass off because I could tell, like I could imagine you guys talking about that in the writing room and stuff like that. I imagine like it was either like, I mean, you guys said that you were high as shit, so like that makes a lot of sense now.
It was
like,
just a pause. Yeah.
Yeah, I think when we went to the studio, I edited it, and it was just hilarious. Because he's like a little strict about what he wants to hear sometimes. When we went to the studio both times, there was times where I would just play what I wanted anyways. And since Scott from Sinai was there, if he liked it, then Aaron would be like, all right, because Scott likes it.
Scott Carroll's the one.
Yeah, I remember I did the bell in the studio because I was like, it's too long of a pause, so I did the bell, and Scott was like, that was the dick. And Aaron was like, all right, we'll keep it in. And I was like,
and Scott lives right in front of a train station, which like every hour you just hear the fucking ringing from the cross gates, and it's honestly it was a little too omnipresent to that. It was hilarious. It was really fucking funny. So it's stuff. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. And that's exactly what I mean, y'all, is like you're doing stuff that you is enjoying to you, and you're like, fuck everybody else, we're doing what we want to do, and it's brought you this far, man.
Everyone's a fucking nerd. Like, you know,
so yeah, I'm stoked that you guys are stoked on your shit, and it's brought you this far, and I hope it continues to carry you as far as possible. Yeah, man. Cori, your last question of the evening.
All right, and it's a super, super important one, probably the most important interview question you will ever be asked.
I hope it's about food.
What is your favorite dinosaur?
Oh man, that's pretty hard.
Favorite
dinosaur?
Honestly, probably a Velociraptor. Honestly, they're just so badass. Like,
yeah, it's a classic for a reason.
Yeah, like they're kind of like a badass for no reason.
Shit.
Pterodactyl.
Pterodactyls are always good too. It's hard to narrow it down.
Taurus. Fucking, I don't know. Probably, I would say Velociraptor, but pterodactyls are pretty fucking dope.
These things screech.
Yeah, those are like the two coolest times. Yeah.
I mean, I would ride one.
Into battle.
100%.
Into battle. Fuck to work, literally.
Well, depending on where you work, that could be into battle.
I'm pretty sure Victorious wrote a song about that.
Oh, yeah. Probably.
Oh, man. So there we go. Add it to your spreadsheet, Cori. Pterodactyl and Velociraptor. I don't know if she has a spreadsheet, guys.
I don't have a spreadsheet.
She probably does. She has a spreadsheet somewhere, I imagine.
I have little gold stars. No.
Yeah, it's a whiteboard saying like, hey, here you go.
Like it's in kindergarten, the little smiley stickers.
So who you here to say?
Amazing. Y'all, you're getting a lot of love in the chat. A lot of people saying thanks for sharing your time with us. Thanks for the tunes. Thanks for the conversation and everything like that. Again, one more plug. Everybody Engrossed in Decay is out now via Prosthetic Records. Pick it up through the link in the chat. Scroll up if you see it. And Kyle, Aaron, thank you so much for your time. Have an amazing weekend. Go celebrate. And we hope to see you on the road in a little while. Cori is going to be after you for that info.
Yeah, 100%. We'll call you.
All right, y'all. We will be back next week. Keem will be here. We are going to be chatting with Calgary, Alberta's Wake. They have an incredible new album coming out. Very cool progressive black metal band doing a lot of cool things in the extreme metal sphere right now. Come on, then. 2:30 p.m. Pacific time then. Until then, I'm John Garcia for Cori Westbrook, for Aaron, for Kyle. Take it easy, guys. Have an amazing weekend. Be safe, y'all.